I'm like I'm like backwards. I'm not actually backwards. I'm just looking at you um from up here while you're down there. Even though in actuality you're just on the floor and I am not. Well, actually I am. I'm hunched directly where you stand along with me. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wacky? Um, this kind of brings me back. Oh, hello, Lawless Cherry. Right on time. This kind of brings me back to when I used to do those streams. Oh, new person. You know Chi Chi? I've never seen you before. Welcome to the stream. Also Sheesh, welcome to the stream. I have two new people. I've never seen you two before. Um, but I I remember like back in 2019 when oh, Safe XP is here. Hello. I remember back in like 2019, I used to do these streams where I was like laying on the floor semi-regularly before I had properly padded my room out with furniture and stuff that fills space. And like where I'm at right now, it's super claustrophobic to lay on the floor, but I've had the urge nonetheless to lay on the floor, so that's what I'm doing. Also, welcome to the stream, Joshua. I've been watching for 3 years. Holy shit, I don't know how I haven't seen you around then. Maybe you were just called something else. Um, well, I've been generally I found your channel a month ago. Well, welcome. I've been generally dealing with loneliness a lot better than I used to, I think. In general, it feels like my head has been much more clear than it was a couple months ago, or really for a lot of the year 2022. This was a year that began in an extremely chaotic and violent, turbulent, tumultuous way, and that culminated in me reneging on a lot of prior promises and commitments I had made, and in many respects falling down the drain. Like, I tried to kill myself 2 times this year, which is crazy to think about. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to bring any harm to myself. Um, but I nonetheless find myself somewhat lonely. And it's weird because, like, when I find myself lonely now, like I record a video or I do a stream like this, or I watch an anime, I've been watching Rescue Wings, or I read something, I play a game, and a lot of the time I don't even enjoy what I'm doing per se, but I just do it anyway. No pressure on the Patreon video, by the way, lol JK. Um, I couldn't figure out how how to talk about your poems. I was trying to. Why you ditch? What is your problem? Um, I messaged you on Mal. Um, I said that I don't want to be in unencrypted rooms um on Matrix. I'm not okay with using really any kind of communication that isn't encrypted. Uh, I I said that both in my message to you on there and also on Mal. So will this stream be saved? Sad I missed that last one. Yeah, I generally keep my streams up when I do them. The reason that one ended up going down was because I felt like I wasn't saying enough for it to be interesting, and it ended with a lot of noise uh, in the background. It was annoying. Oh, you were just testing something? Oh, if you were just testing something, then you can add me back on there. If I recall correctly, you said the last one ended because you got annoyed by the dogs. Yeah, that is what happened, and then I didn't keep it up because I just didn't feel like I said enough interesting stuff. Um, but yeah, Josh, I'll probably give it another attempt writing that video, but I just couldn't find a good through line for for something like good or up to my standard to inspired or to be inspired. I'm going schizo unironically. Um, oh, I mean, I wish I knew how to help. Like I said, you can add me back on there. If you aren't lying, why would I be lying? What motivation would I have to lie? I man, you need to calm down. Hi, hello, hi. Hello, Necro Veronica. Yo, um, go listen to this person's music. Their music is really good. Paranoid schizo activated? I mean, I understand because I've been there. I was there multiple times this year, and I've since stabilized. Last night, I saw a dead ferret in my room that wasn't really there. Um, and I kept seeing these like wavy flashes of animals and spiders. And I had like some mild tactile hallucinations as well, like feeling stuff under my skin. It was really unnerving. Um, I couldn't sleep again. I was awake for almost 24 hours, and uh, I started I started seeing these creatures that weren't there. Hi, man. Hello, Canes3Q. Welcome to the stream. How did you get so good at speaking? I don't think I'm that great at speaking. Like, there's some clear holes in my skill set, but it was just practice. Like, throughout my life, I had not spoke very much at all. I was very, very quiet growing up and in general, just out of necessity. And when I did speak, I would stutter and it was super stilted. And so I more or less learned how to speak from doing these videos. And because I have over 1,000 videos and hundreds more than that, I ended up acquiring the skill. Really, I think it's something more like over 2,000 because that's not including all the videos that no one has seen or that don't exist anymore. I think it was primarily practice. Also, listening to other people who are professional at doing this, I would consciously analyze their speaking patterns and then copy them. I remember I felt that my house was flying up and I thought I was being hunted by aliens for a night. Yeah, during my psychosis, I literally thought that federal agents were after me at every step, and I thought that they were watching me through like an invisible camera. I thought they could hear my thoughts and that there was a camera that they were filming to put me in a movie so they could persecute me if I were to do or say or think if I were to think something incriminating. So I thought they could literally hear my thoughts. Um, I also thought that all of reality was constructed in real time, that it was rendered in real time via the most powerful computer in the world that was operated by, and I kid you not, Barack Obama. I thought Barack Obama rendered reality in real time via the world's most powerful computer. Yeah, fair. The thing that's made me listen for as long as I have is your ability to respond to things coherently and convey your thoughts in a really interesting, smooth way. Thank you. Um, I would like to think that I'm able to be concise because one of the things that annoys me the most about other channels is meandering the point and sticking on one thing, like not just too long, but to the point where it's like grating to listen to, which for me happens pretty quickly. What boards do you browse these days? I don't really browse any boards these days. Um, I go I go on 4chan sometimes. Uh, and it's usually like the V board or the VR board. Sometimes I don't really click on individual threads, but I'll look at R9K. The drug feel thread that always shows up on R9K, I'll kind of look around at it. 420chan died recently, I think. I think I heard about that. I haven't confirmed it myself, but if that's the case, RIP. I used to really like 420chan. Keck. Um, yeah. Brit feel. Yeah, and people are clowning on me for going on R9K, but I don't go on there to agree with what's being said. I go on there because I think it's funny to read. Um, Although a lot of the time it's not funny, it's just really annoying. Insane Idiot says, "Yo, hey, welcome to the stream." Um, R9K failed normie. I do not think I'm a failed normie. Hi Osaka says Arm Melon. Wow, lots of new people showing up today. I don't think I've seen you before either. Hello, welcome. Hello, fellow immortals. Hello, Yui. Uh, you shouldn't be allowed to watch my streams. You're 16. You need to go to bed on time. Oh, no R9K users are failed normies? I agree. I agree. Like a lot of it is just obsessing over appearance and really shallow attributes like they're the most important things in the world. I finished my shift 4 hours ago. I will be up 6 more hours. Well, good for you. Docs? What do you mean docs? Like you're doxing what time you go to work? I don't think that really matters. A wagey at 16, life sucks for you. To be fair, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Hey Osaka, hope all is well. Thank you. Thank you, Mullaboom. What's wrong with you? Me or someone in the chat? Who are you referring to? Um, if you're referring to me, there's a myriad of things that one might. You shouldn't be on this side of the internet at 16. Oh, you're talking to Yui. Okay. Well, I think by way of being transgender, they're like more predisposed to being over here. Um, Also, I was on this side of the internet at 16. I don't know if you guys remember, but I kind of carved out this whole Denpa space myself. This side of the internet, quote unquote, didn't really exist before I started doing this whole Denpa thing. And then a bunch of other channels started springing up that were inspired by what I was doing. And then this side of the internet became a thing, but I was doing this at 16. That was 4 years ago, but if you want 6 hours to kill, watch Boku no Yatsumi review. It slaps. Oh yeah, one. I've been meaning to watch that. Like it's a Tim Rogers video, so I know it's gonna be good. Tim Rogers is so fucking good. I actually experienced high morale, wagey flow state for the first time today. I had the strength of 4 or 5 standard workers and felt no pain or exhaustion. It was wonderful. This sounds like a green text. Uh, yeah, definitely way too young. Um, though I wish my excellent strength was dedicated to something more important. Speak on it? Or who are you referring to? Older ages make fun of younger people. Do you miss working? Question mark. I do not. Uh, I I am under so much less stress than I used to be under, and I'm way less compelled to uh to engage in the kind of unhealthy activities I was engaging in when I had that job to sustain myself, like stimulant abuse and whatnot, abusing sedatives. I was doing this to, in order to, in order to consistently work my job, and that was just unsustainable. But like it was literally impossible for me to function at work without self-medicating like that. And so it was just a really tremendously miserable experience. I tried to kill myself because of that job. I made a new internet friend and showed him your channel and videos, and he loves your vids. Oh, thank you. Um, yeah, I appreciate someone sharing this stuff around, and I'm glad that he's a fan. Internet friends, green text. Um, but it was stressful, so I came to the Osaka stream instead. I think a lot of people who have internet friends also touch grass. Like that's not entirely uncommon. I don't like to make close connections with people because 99% of the time in the past it always ends up in failure. Well, here's the thing, right? It sure most friendships are going to result in them being short or not working out, but with each failure, you improve at it steadily over time. And each person that you end up meeting provides you with a reference point for how you may be able to improve with the next person. And the more trial and error you do, the more likely you'll eventually find someone who does stick around for a while. What were you doing? Question mark. If you're referring to the job I was doing, I was a housekeeper at a hotel. Does anyone use window tiling managers? I have in the past. I use OpenBox. I don't like making connections because of the fear of them abandoning me. I definitely understand that. I have like a massive fear of abandonment. It's deeply troubling for me, but it's improving over time. Imagine a stream collab between Osaka and the former Digi Discord server. I found a lot of those people kind of unsufferable because a lot of them are like really moralistic lefties who think that they have the entire world figured out, and I just really don't like people like that. Um, but maybe it would be cool to have like a 1-on-10 debate with those people or something. I think it was banned from the Digi Discord server. It's possible. For being a eugenicist? Why would you ban someone for being a eugenicist? There's an entire country that's eugenicist. It's called Iceland, and they're in the Western world. I use Arch, by the way. I use Debian. I don't like making connections because I'm too apathetic. I've also been there myself. They're just talking about I3 in here. Hi, hello, lore 2MG. I like your avatar. I don't care about window tiling managers. Um, what doesn't kill you just kills you slowly? I think that's true of certain things, but it's also true that depending on the perspective that you take towards something harmful, that ultimately doesn't kill you, it can in turn be used to make you stronger, but you need to have the right perspective on it in order to properly integrate those experiences into your perspective into a or in a manner that is productive. Is that the girl from Komodo no Jikan? Oof, that's a shame. This new friend I made is a former digihead and is not brain dead, a very uncommon combination. Um, I was about to say I don't know that many digi people, but I guess it's more accurate to say I don't know as many as a lot of other people who were in the community. Um, I don't know. Most of the ones I've talked to are all right, but also most of the ones I've talked to are just people who have deliberately seeked me out. I wasn't a huge fan of the kind of lefty, um, like cancel culture, fascistic stuff that was going on in some of those communities that sprang up from Digi. Digi is just good for art inspiration. Um, I mean, like, I think I would probably say that now because I've went back to a lot of those old videos and they don't really hold up that well. And it's weird because like Digi had a profound impact on my life. I probably wouldn't, no, I mean not probably, I just wouldn't be here. I would not be here without Digi's videos and existence. Um, this channel would not be what it is today also without their videos. And without a lot of the recommendations that I got from there that also ended up inspiring me. Um, But now I go back to all that old content and it feels like it was just tainted. Like I watch it and it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't intrigue me anymore. I actually use Gentoo and I'm getting into free BSD. Oh boy. Um, BSD stuff is really just good for servers. I would use Debian, but I need to figure out how to load my Wi-Fi drivers and firmware files. Right now I'm using Mint, but some things suck with it. Okay. Um, Important question? I didn't see what you asked. I only been using Linux for a month and learned quite a lot due to struggling lots and lots and using the terminal, then over relying GUI. Yeah, the terminal is going to teach you a lot about how computers work. ZFS Chad coming through based. What the fuck is a digi? The artist formerly known as Digibro. Basically, all of my interests can be traced back to Digi. I sometimes forget because many of my interests are many layers removed by now. I had a lot of interests before Digi. I was a person before I got into Digi's content, and that's why I connected with the content so much because what I found was a person who had similar interests to me and who was a similar person. Um, and so I didn't end up getting defined or uh, like substantially developed from nothing because of their content. I wasn't that impressionable or that much of a blank slate. Been using Linux on and off for a few years right now. I'm using it as I have zero reason for Windows. Oh, a good example of what I was talking about in response to your comment, by the way, Yui, is I would get pissed off a lot um, at Digi's videos when I was like 14 for Digi not knowing shit about 80s anime because I got into anime through shit from the 70s and the 80s, and that was a stark contrast. So I already had like a taste, and I would get pissed off at Digi for not knowing anything about books or the film medium. They're just talking about Gen 2 now. I don't have anything to comment on this. Like I don't really have a lot of nuanced Linux opinions. Um, in my opinion, Denpatube could be described as basically a genre of vlog that's influenced by Digi. I agree. Um, I think that's really undeniable. Denpa is cringe. Uh, Excommunicate yourself from the concept of cringe. Cringe is a spook. Read Max Stirner. I was a person before getting into Digi too, but Digi destroyed that person. That's kind of gay. I don't know why you can't tag people. Do you know how to move files? Okay, I don't care about this. Linux nerds in chat? Yeah, everybody, it seems. Linux makes my head hurt. I don't want to type 1,000 lines of code to download files. I mean, it's not, I understand that you're exaggerating, but it's really not that cumbersome if you start memorizing the commands pretty fast. YouTube is so crap. Everything less sucks, so whatever. Yeah, I don't really watch YouTube for the most part these days. I haven't for a while. Like I watch Tim Rogers, and I'm trying to think. I watch Nose videos sometimes. And that's really it. Like if I need a tutorial or something, I'll look that up. But I don't I haven't really used YouTube much for years now. Like since 2020, I've barely used this site. Um I spent like a month using Linux before I learned you could auto-complete commands with tab. Worst mistake of my life. That's funny. I watch Review Bra. I would rather lay down in bed. Um, Apathy Bros in chat. Everything is boring and I don't care. Because you said you'd rather watch anime earlier. Um, I mean, yeah, that's a fair take. Uh, I don't watch anywhere near as much anime as I used to. Um, I used to watch so much anime. Like the there aren't that many shows on my Mal, but most of those shows were added during a specific period of time. The entire world seems so bland, all the people in it suck. I disagree. I disagree. The world is definitely not bland. Um, our melon keeps having bad opinions. I agree. Um, like go to another country or something, man. Like go even like I don't know where you're from, if you're from like the UK or America or something, but like if you're in America, you can like there's so much shit for you to explore. Like if you're on the East Coast, go to the West Coast, go out into the desert. What the fuck is going on? Uh okay, so the dog's barking thing is happening literally again because of fucking fireworks have been going off since Labor Day in this town. I don't know why. Uh People either it's people shooting guns or fireworks happening constantly. I'm going to go deal with this shit. Osaka is about to die on Labor Day stream. Um I live near the capital, so I have everything I need to see here. That's retarded. Um like I used to have takes like this, like these kind of brain dead takes about America. Um but the thing is, right, like the more of it you see, um the more you end up realizing there is like America's incredibly diverse. Like there's a lot of things to see here. Um and even if you see all of it and don't think it's all that much, you can just go down to Mexico or Canada. Like and there's shit tons of things to see there. So, like, yeah, of course you think the world is bland when you've only stayed in one spot forever. Like, um, but that you can't make a definitive statement like that as if you actually know what you're talking about. Osaka kills dogs on stream. No, no, no. I mean, things haven't really been able to make me happy or things being entertaining. There's really no healthy way I've found that I've been able to make myself happy. Um, America is beautiful, I agree. But what I was gonna, okay, so um I don't know what your individual situation is, and I'm also not the best person to give advice because I'm sort of trying to find an answer to this question as well. But um I think making things helps a lot. Like even if you're bad at drawing or playing music or something, it helps just to try. And if you can fill your life with distractions like that, you may not enjoy them for a while or even for a long time, but the longer you do them and build the habit, I think the more likely you are to enjoy them at least to some extent. Um, I've been trying to get into Digi with a friend, and we both don't find the appeal of it. What is good about the show, or should we find enjoyment only in the albums and the music? I think the show's funny. That's my take, but um, not everybody has the same sense of humor. Yeah, but all the scenic places are racist, so that's a no-go. Understandable. I don't know what race you are, so certain places might be more dangerous than others. But as long as you're not in like the South, even then the South has a lot of black people, but uh if you're not in the South, you'll probably be fine. Like I think Wyoming and Montana are both really beautiful. And those places are not particularly racist at all. They're just predominantly white. Different scenery doesn't make the world not bland. It absolutely does. Hi, Osaka. Still in Vermont right now. I am not in Vermont, no. Also, hello, Sapphire. I don't really talk to anyone outside, but walking around is interesting. I'm going to walk around Glasgow tomorrow, the British Mexico. Glasgow seems wonderful. I want to go there in the future. Are you a script? I don't know what you mean. Pick up an instrument, playing a song feels so good. I agree 100%. I think reading books helps you see the beauty around you. Yeah, I agree. Um, like I'm a writer, so I have a bias here. But if you can read a really good story that's able to describe the world in a manner that uh, shows the world for its more intriguing qualities, like the lively nature of it, even in the mundane, it it helps you see the beauty and the liveliness in that mundanity. It, um, so I think that's an important part. I think life prevention is more important than figuring out how to make better copes. Well, I don't understand how preventing other people's lives from coming into being helps you. Like, if we're thinking about this from a purely self-interested standpoint, how does that help you? Like, how does that improve your immediate situation if you're preventing other people from like being born? I think the only thing that really matters at the end of the day is how well you're doing and how happy you are. Like other people's issues that those are not your concerns. They can be if it makes you feel better in some way to take on other people's concerns as your own, but that shouldn't be like a prerequisite for living. Um, and so yes, making better copes is more important than preventing life from coming into being. Reading books got me bullied. Um, damn. Every year I get depressed for months thinking my feelings are gone. Then autumn starts and I feel so beautiful. I need to find a place that feels this way all year round. I like the winter a lot. Now I like being in the north of the country in the winter. It's very cold. My school is mostly black people. This is like the very middle of Texas. I hate Texas. That seems super subjective, but I'm sure scenery helps you. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about my own opinions here. Um, yeah, I might need to travel. Black people are awesome, TBH. I agree. Um, a lot of the best friends I've ever had have been black, and the predominant culture in the United States, whether it be through music or comedy, um, is Black American culture. And so a lot of the best art that's being made now in this country is from Black people. Um, Bad thing, it takes a bit of time to get up and running. They're still talking about Linux, it looks like. Uh, I collected Conkers often when I was younger. I never actually played the game though. I was afraid of getting hurt. That's funny. Um, I I liked the remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day a lot growing up. I Conker Live and Reloaded. I played that a lot. Um, but unfortunately, I sold my childhood copy a while back, um, so I could fund my addiction. Thankfully, I'm not about that life anymore, but it is what it is. I'm in Northeast USA. People say my state is boring, but I've traveled, and a lot of the metropolitan areas in every state are more or less the same anyway. I think it depends on what state that you're in. Like, I think Salt Lake City and Portland are really, really nice, which are on the opposite side of the country, and those definitely feel like a much different vibe. I like Burlington a lot too. Burlington, it really feels very individual from the rest of the country. Oh man, I loved Burlington so much. I mean, it sucked living in a tent while I was there and then getting my tent stolen, but it is what it is. I like the snow in the north. Yeah, the snow's nice there. Also, IRC is pretty good. IRC is good. Made coffee. Coffee is good. Um, um, I like coffee when it has chocolate in it because I'm a child. The snow here is lovely. I love that we get the full range of seasons here. The fall foliage is beautiful. I want to live in Alaska. I want to live in Alaska in like a compound with a trans GF and all of my friends. I think that would be cool. I think there might literally be some kind of chemical that just changes everything around September or October. I need to learn which one. I just feel everything more strongly at this time. I think you have some form of seasonal affective disorder, my friend. Nebraska is hell on earth. I think Nebraska gets a bad rap. Um, I mean, it is like full of endless nothing in a similar uh way to like Kansas and a lot of these other flyover states, but it has a little bit of charm. Like there's some things going on there. I just don't see the necessity for life from a rational standpoint. Mars seems a lot more peaceful to me. I think these are the kind of thoughts that people have when they're extremely depressed. Um, the truth is, there there doesn't it's not about necessity or rationality. It's just about being. Um, to exist in the world happily is to embrace the irrational nature of everything, to stop trying to input ones and zeros where they simply do not apply. Glowing, he glows so bright. Yeah, Mullaboom is correct. Why does something have to be necessary? I love my NSA agent friends. I work. I suppose that makes me a Fed relative to you needs. Shake my head. Does that mean I was Fed posting when I was in Wyoming? I start my first day of work at new job tomorrow, sad face. Oof. Um, yeah, good luck. Uh, Alaska seems nice, but the internet is slow and food is expensive. Yeah, it sucks that everything is so expensive in Alaska. Like They have the highest cost of living of any state, and also they have the most crime of any state, so it's not a particularly safe place to live. Um, but I'm used to being around a lot of crime, so it doesn't really scare me that much. I just want to stay home, but money is nice, I guess. Yui, please recommend me. I work for feds. Now everyone is LARPing as a fed in the chat. I'm working and I mostly like it. It's not full time though, so it helps. Yeah, I hear part-time jobs are much more comfy. You were fed posting in Wyoming, yeah. Yeah, that was the joke. I was trying to make fun of my roommate. I work at Sneed's Feed and Seed. Yeah, I work at Chuck's fucking suck. Uh, I only work twice a week. I can't imagine working 5 days a week. Oh my God. See, I worked 5 days a week, and also sometimes I would have to come into work on my days off. And most days I worked overtime. It fucking sucked, dude. I ain't a neat son. How does Alaska have crime? Um, Very simple. Everyone is depressed there, and things are too expensive. Yeah, Alaska is not just the most unsafe state, it's the most crime-ridden state. Like they have I think it's either Anchorage or Juneau that are like some of the crime capitals of the country. People smash the windows of people's cars all the time, steal shit. They also have like the most unsolved murders. Uh, I work 4 a week. That's not too bad. It would be pretty bad for me. Um, Need Glowy Coon to kidnap me and torture me. Yeah, now you're speaking my language. Do you guys also like anime? I do. Bottoms are not welcome here. That's funny. Yeah, I endorse bullying bottoms because it plays into my kink, as someone who is also a bottom. I've seen all those anime. Wait, which anime? I work 7 days a week. My job is suffering. Amen, brother. Waterboarding, gaming, CIA productions. You're giving me ideas now. Um, Bottoms are welcome here. Yes. How did you not know this, mister? NSAGF that allows you to see hidden files? I would be fascinated to see what they have on everybody. I wouldn't go looking for anybody that I know, but I've always been really into like secrets and like the layer beneath what people publicly say about shit. Who is this fucking 69? Get the fuck out of here. Ban. Hide user from channel. Someone's spamming? Get the fuck out of here. Any other tops in chat? Um, I can be that sometimes. I guess like if I'm being entirely honest, I'm like a switch, but I'm like mostly a bottom. Covert operations GF. Uh, go back to TF2. Best adult dating site. Just 5 terabytes of LBJ sex tapes, yes. Someone in here says that they're strictly a bottom based. I call myself a wannabe femboy. I call myself an actual femboy. Um, I'm sorry for being unclear. I meant to joke that this was your fault because you welcomed them. That's funny. I think most people are switches to a degree. It's a spectrum. Yeah, like I also think that the same is true with bisexuality. Like I feel like most people, if pushed, like if they explored um being bi, they would probably be bi. Like I'm like 90% attracted to men, but there's this like 10% part of me that is attracted to women. Um I made this analogy in the past that for me, like being into women is like eating McDonald's chicken nuggets. Like, it's not something I actively seek out most of the time. It's worse than just about anything else I could be eating. But sometimes, man, you just want chicken nuggets. You're in the mood for McChicken. Um, but um, I I feel almost like I'm gonna sound like a chaser saying this, or like I'm going to sound like somewhat transphobic. But like if we're, talking about a trans woman specifically, uh I think that 10% being for women like ups to like a 30%. And it's pretty much entirely because they have a dick. And so I could, in that instance, bottom. And like that doesn't mean that I see trans women as like not really women or something. That just means that like I like the genitalia more, which I don't think that makes me like fucking problematic or whatever, but there's going to be people who say that I am because I have that opinion as someone who's gay for the most part, who's like mostly gay. Like I think that makes a lot of trans women uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm the only straight person here. Maybe. I agree that we all have autism. Being into women is like eating McDonald's chicken nuggets. Osaka Syndrome 2022. Trans women constantly call me a chaser. I'm just charismatic. They're projecting, pretending I'm deliberately causing their emotions. Yo, based? Based? We've got a Chad in chat now. Um, yeah. I need to do like a video kind of in defense of chasers because I feel like it's like made up hysteria. I prefer pre-op trans women too, and it makes me feel bad. Yeah, like it I don't know how to feel about it because I don't want to like have it seem as though I'm like seeing them as something other than what they are, which is women, right? It's just that like here's a good analogy. Like or not a good analogy, but rather a good example of something similar. Like some people are really into tall women. Some people are really into women who have small breasts. Um, those women aren't any less of a woman because they have those characteristics, but they are uh, like individual in their own right, and they're seeked out based on what makes them individual. And I think the exact same is true of pre-op trans women. Um, if you're deliberately seeking out that type of woman, it's not because they're more man, it's because you like that type of woman. In the same way that someone might like a woman who just happens to be more tall. Like, and seeing things that way sort of helps me feel more comfortable with my perspective. YouTube shadow banned my comments. Yeah, I don't know why. Because I allow just about every comment, but YouTube does this. My opinions are too based. I see y'all's comments, yeah, but the YouTuber doesn't. Yeah, it's not showing up for me. Um, I don't I don't know what's going on with that. Oh Lord. Yo, I'm going to grab my drink from over there real quick. Give me a sec. Women like one type of men. That is definitely not true. The female friends that I've had have usually been pretty diverse in terms of the kind of men they like. I think you're just not talking to the right women. Um, yeah, it's super annoying. I want to see the angry people yell at me in my comments. I don't want to hide them. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. That's really weird. Female friends in quotations. they're not that hard to find if you just talk to them. Like if you just treat them like human beings, they're not that difficult to find. I don't think there's that many substantial differences between men and women, and most people are just people. Are they human beings though? Question mark. Haha, very funny. Gang weed TBH? I don't know what that means. It's like an AAVE thing. Who is singing in the background? Um, the Ghost of Christmas Past. Your preacher. Mister in the chat says I am very sexist. We can all tell. Women at my school used to annoy me in the past at school. Have you considered that when people are children, it's very different from when they're adults? What's that behind you? Don't know what you're referring to. Um, I think that's a neighbor, but I mean, one of my only IRL friends is a girl, based. I've been getting really obsessed with Dejiko from Charat. I don't know why I'm hateful to people. Uh, the one possible explanation I could give is you've been hurt a lot by other people, and people who are hurt tend to hurt other people. And so I think that means that you need to be treated with more compassion. Probably jealous on how women get treated from society. I mean, this is the thing, like I think people tend to see a group of people and then assume that the people from that group that they've been exposed to, which is really a small that's really a small portion overall, all things considered, but they assume that those people they've been exposed to end up representing the entirety of that group. And so then they make these statements like, I'm jealous of how women are treated by society, when in reality, what they're jealous of is those women, those people that they've been exposed to. They're not jealous of all of the women who have like a myriad of problems that they're unaware of because they simply haven't talked to them. Dejiko based? Yeah, Dejiko is based. Um, I used to try being hateful, but it just made things worse. It generally just makes things worse. I'm attractive now, but I remember avoid them altogether worked for me. I used to try and act like Johann Liebert, but my IQ was too low to emulate his sneakiness. I don't know who that is. Also, yes, thank you, Osaka. Most women aren't the Stacy stereotype and get everything handed to them, especially when you have the tism or aren't attractive. Um, yeah, no problem. Um, I think like these are only things that you can come to realize or like really internalize if you just talk it, to people who are women and have like the kind of problems that you just described. A lot of people just don't have exposure to that. And then when they do get exposed to it, they just act like it doesn't exist. Like, um, there's a lot of women who, like, people will just straight up not believe when they share their experiences of discrimination from other girls or by men. and the isolation and otherness that comes with that, that like for just about anybody would end up causing some kind of psychological problem. Like it would make you feel bad. Like if a man experienced the same thing, a lot of the people saying this sexist stuff would look at that guy and then go, "Oh, I feel really bad for that guy. What he's going through is totally real." But you switch the gender around and then like for that reason alone, the exact same process taking place, they end up looking at it and then going, "Oh, that couldn't possibly be there. That's not really real, bro." And it like it's just cognitive dissonance. Um, Holy shit, I've been streaming for almost an hour. Man, I began this stream talking about loneliness and filling time, and I've been really lonely over the last couple days. But the thing is, I just don't really know what to do because I'm in a period of my life where I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. Like I'm waiting for my disability to get turned back on. I'm waiting for um, me to be able to get a vehicle. I'm I'm waiting until I can start seeing some of my friends again who live across the fucking country, you know. It's me waiting on a lot of stuff, and I've just kind of been broke. So, and being broke sucks, obviously. So, I'm just fucking waiting. Um, I had something get lost in the post from Amazon like 2 months ago, and I've been calling up the postal service to try and get it sent to me, um, so I can return it and then get some money from that to pay off some debt that I have, and then I'm probably gonna start just selling off a lot of the stuff that I have because a lot of the stuff that I have I don't need, and I know what I do need is a vehicle. Um, I'm just kind of done with a lot of like physical possessions. Um, I, but stuff that I just described is a process of waiting is generally painful. That's what I'm saying. Holy shit. Oh, there was a bunch of stuff in the chat. Why was the chat just not moving for a long ass time? Hide user from this channel. Okay. Uh, I'm not gay, but I prefer men. I have LARPed as a woman on Discord and have had so many messages compared to my main account. That's probably because you were talking to desperate people. Dash says, "Hello, Mr. Osaka. How are you on this fine day?" Uh, I, I'm managing, I would say, but I didn't really have a very good day. Links are banned, yeah. Is there a theme to this stream, or can we ask random questions? Um, you can always ask random questions. Like, if anyone wants to ask stuff, they're always free to. Um, Hello, hope you're doing well, Heart. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Um, all I can really do is wait there. Isn't much I can do right now. All I can do really is wait since the only things I can do to affect my future will take time. That's true. Hope you have better days ahead. Thank you. You should play a video game. I've been trying to, even though I haven't really been enjoying them for the most part. I've been trying to anyway. I mean, I get plenty of DMs by people and people treat me nice. I just try to act cute-ish, I guess, even though they really all know I'm a man. Um, Yeah, I mean, behaving in like an overly cutesy fashion tends to win over a lot of like especially anime-oriented folks, but really just desperate people online in general. Re-upload your Minecraft Let's Play that you deleted? I'm not aware of any Let's Play that I deleted. I remember listening to old Osaka streams. I asked better questions than them 100%. Maybe. I don't know. Can I get on the stream voice chat? I'm streaming through a phone right now, so it's not really possible to add another voice on here. What are your opinions on Artificial Night Sky? Pretty good videos. I like the aesthetics a lot on his channel. I meant White Hand. White Hand is also good. My bad. Yeah, I that White Hand is a good channel. Yo, Mr. Osaka podcast. I would listen. I mean, sure. I'm down to do a podcast with just about anybody. I mean, if someone asked me, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast or something?" I usually what I would say is yes. They just have to ask. Um, don't think White Hand likes me. You don't think anyone likes you. You think people dislike you when they don't even dislike you. He disabled his Mal comments after I messaged him. That was probably a coincidence. Osaka will be a guest on Joe Rogan's podcast. That would be pretty funny. Osaka podcast is a really good idea. Those vids are private now, but they were funny. I think Osaka Rogan style podcast. I'd listen. Osaka will be on the new CIA podcast. Denpa podcast. Okay, people really want a Denpa podcast, it looks like. It looks like that the overwhelming consensus in the chat is to do a podcast. So I'll look into it. Um, Sapphire, you're an up and coming channel now. If you wanted to do some shit with me for like a podcast, I would be down. But how the fuck do um how the fuck do I share my like link for Matrix for people to add? Okay, this is my Matrix link. So if you guys want to add me on Matrix, uh if you guys want to add me on Matrix, you can. The option is there. Fed link? Uh Matrix is not a Fed is not a Fed client. Is it a server or DM? It's my DMs. I don't use Discord for the most part. I have like a secret Discord that's like a burner that nobody knows about. Uh, but I don't use it really to post. Um, I use Matrix because it's encrypted. I cannot stand the Fed meme. None of you actually think I'm a Fed, but everyone calls me one. It's insufferable. Yeah, the jokes, like, I feel like a joke when it's overdone. XMP is better than Matrix. The Fed meme is overrated, true. Yeah, like the problem is these jokes start out funny and then 100% Fed. That one was kind of funny. Um like they start out funny, uh and then they end up being said so many times that they just kind of lose their magic. I miss when glowy memes were purely a Terry Davis fan community phenomenon. Yeah, I agree. Temple OS. Yeah, like I'm trying to get people to use Matrix because Everyone is on Discord and no one wants to migrate to an encrypted platform, but like what I end up saying is like I will only use an encrypted platform, and so if people want to talk to me, they have to talk to me through there. And so then it becomes like a matter of finding out who your real friends are, because a real friend will they'll go wherever they have to go, you know? I miss when I was happy. Yeah. I don't think I've ever been happy. So I don't really have anything to miss per se. I think if anything, things tend to just get a little bit better each year. I miss when Terry Davis was purely a Reddit comments phenomenon. That's funny. The only reason I use Discord is because all my friends use it. I don't want to force everyone to make a new account for my server stuff. I mean, it's not really forcing if they care about you. Discord friends aren't friends. Arm Melon is. I want to give you a hug. All right, buddy. Um, there's a lot of cynicism going on here, and I can tell where it's coming from. Humorous tone in parentheses. Was there something you said prior to that? Most of my friends right now are from Twitter, but I have them added on Discord. Um, I use Discord because I am not compelled by isolated commands for rigor. 100 emote cucumber. I have no idea what you mean. Chats fall off so fast without some sort of mental illness involved. I see. Um, I really dislike uh, this aestheticization aestheticization, yeah, of mental illness. Like this idea that being mentally ill somehow makes you unique or cool, I just don't think is true. Like these if you're actually suffering with a mental illness, like it's not fun. It's deeply unpleasant. But I feel like there's a really dangerous trend going on online right now where people are identifying with these things even if they don't have a diagnosis. Um, and it's creating a situation where, like, they're willing themselves into having problems that they didn't necessarily have before, all for the sake of, like, internet clout or quote unquote being interesting, instead of, like, what's actually in their self-interest. Uh, there are fake friends in real life too. Some people are genuine, some aren't. Unfortunately, it's our prerogative to sort the wheat from the chaff. I agree. It was one of the reasons I quit Discord. How old is the average Osaka viewer? I'm 19, started watching you when I was 16. I think, if I had to guess, it's probably like it's probably somewhere within the range of like 19 to 25. They did not care for my existence at all. I started following Osaka slash no thank you through I am Games. That's funny. Um, I remember when I remember when No used to uh, comment on I am Games. Like he would link me the streams as they were happening. The problem is that you're too easy on what you consider a friend. Otherwise, you wouldn't be complaining. No. Um, Too many teens thinking they have bipolar or autism? Yeah, I agree. Self-diagnoses are dangerous in general because, uh, like, the reason why psychiatrists say not to self-diagnose yourself is because you can start thinking of yourself, like your self-concept can be based on a series of symptoms you don't actually have, but because you've formed this narrative about yourself, you can start behaving and feeling as though you are that. You become the person who you perform. And that's really dangerous because you're inventing problems at that point. I'm 26, started watching at 23. You're a full 6 years older than me. Well, to be fair, I'm gonna be 21 in April, but that's like half a year away. I have like one goof friend on Discord after 2 years. I think you mean good? Huh. Probably older than most here. Yeah, that's probably true. I'm 20, the same age as me. Um, did you not see my messages? I did. Uh, I read the ones that I saw. Oh, the paragraph I didn't see. Osaka's right, I'm in that age range. I'm 23 and started watching at 18 approximately, I think. Damn. Um, 5 years ago. Holy shit. I have a mental illness. I can't get neat bucks for it though, so it doesn't matter. Um, I could have bipolar, but I wouldn't try thinking about it unless I got professionally diagnosed. Um, yeah, yeah, I wouldn't try to think of yourself as having. Holy shit, I can't remember if I started watching when I was 12 or 13. Jesus Christ. That scares me. I I don't think any 12 or 13-year-old should be watching my videos. I started watching when I'm 17 and I'm 19 now. Okay, that's more reasonable. I was watching I was watching Live Leak at 12 too. That's hilarious. Uh um does Osaka not like me? I literally like you. I don't know where this delusion keeps coming from that I don't like you. I've told you like a million times, bro. Used to think I was schizo. Turns out I had depression and paranoia. Yeah, I have psychotic depression, which is that's an interesting one to have. My mom self-diagnosed me with autism. I'm fairly convinced that she turned me from autistic traits to diagnosable. Then eventually I got the gnosis. I mean, if you got the diagnosis, I think it's probably legit. I'm diagnosed with autism. I am as well. Too many kids are desperate to find any excuse to diagnose themselves with a mental illness. It's honestly bad. Yeah, I agree. My mom, also hello Sherwood. My mom was very convinced that I had schizophrenia, even though I never had hallucinations or any of those positive symptoms. That's bizarre. A lot of parents don't, they just don't know what these things are. I think I started, I think I watched at when 14 or 15 because I remember I got my learning permit after watching a video. God damn. Oh, I remember when you first started commenting. You've been around for a long time. They act some weird quirks and thinks it's autism. Yeah, whatever happened to eccentricity? Some people are just eccentric. I was watching Core 12 too. I've been mentally ill internet person since I was like 10. Jesus Christ. I was raised on the internet, so I'm so screwed up. Um, some mental health person said I had clinical depression. Don't know if it's true or not. That sounds correct to me based on. I think you might even have more than that, like some kind of paranoia going on or something. I got a very late TISM DX at 22. Huh, that's very rare. It also seems to be rare in general for women to get diagnosed with autism because a lot of the time autistic women get diagnosed with BPD, which I think is really funny. Well, that's not funny, that's tragic. That's sad, but it's also kind of funny how incompetent certain psychiatrists are. Many kids are raised on the internet, which is scary. Yeah, I agree. I was just watching Sargon of Akkad when I was 10. Jesus Christ. I've watched all your videos about Ava I could find, but haven't found any explanation for why you felt disgusted by it. I especially don't get how the first episode could elicit these feelings. Does it have to do with it being relatable? I definitely heard this angle before. I love Evangelion. That's like one of my favorite anime. I think it's arguably one of the greatest pieces of art ever made. Um, I made those memes as memes. I was half raised by the internet and half raised by an American suburb. Bad combination. BPD is funny. Yeah. Something I may or may not have, who knows. Uh, I had unrestricted Internet access around 7 or 8, I think. Wow. See, I could go on the internet around 7 or 8, but I was terrified. I was terrified of YouTube because I thought there was bad stuff on there. I thought like there were people getting hurt or just bad stuff on there. So I was so scared of the internet. Um, Women get very late diagnoses. It sucks. I should have been in sped when I was younger. I don't know what sped is. Special ed? Yeah. I should have been in special ed as well. I think that would have helped me a lot. I never watched gore videos. I was smart enough to avoid nightmares. Yeah, I don't look at the gore stuff either. I've always kept away from that. I love horror movies though. Horror movies are awesome. I think you should make a second channel where you upload more traditional YouTube content like anime, video game reviews, or commentary videos. I mean, there's anime and video games reviews on this channel. Uh, and I like originally the main channel, Osaka Syndrome, was for that content, and then eventually I just started putting vlogs on here and streams on here as well. I like having it as like a variety channel where there's, just a bunch of shit to choose from, having it kind of diverse like that. If you're asking me to make more traditional YouTube videos, the only reason I'm not is because I don't have any ideas for them or motivation to make them. Like, um, I often don't review the media that I consume because I feel like I don't have anything unique to say about it that someone else hasn't said. Also, yes, Arm Melon has a good opinion in the chat. No, take all of it or none. Yeah, like I'd much rather have like all of my stuff on in one spot. People are just talking about how they used to watch gore. TBF, B, and JP raised me from when I was 11. I get it. Um, yeah, that's the experience with a lot of people. Like, I don't think it's detrimental for every single person per se, but it's like it's I feel like it's pretty bad for most kids. Um, Holy shit. It, when I was 7, I remember watching Pregnant Mario and Luigi Baby from that DS RPG game and got my internet restricted on YouTube. Yeah, it seems like everybody in here has checked out such crazy shit from such a young age. I don't really relate at all. It's crazy. Now I'm too far into evolutionist omega meditation maxing to check out scary stuff. I like being scared. Like, one of my favorite genres is literally horror games. Like, horror in general, I really love. Being scared, it's like an alteration of consciousness. It's an adrenaline rush. I pretty much only used Let's Players on YouTube as my social connection from 7 to 13, when I started using 4chan more. I didn't watch Let's Players as a kid because I thought it was like Zoomer media and I was disgusted by it. When I was 11 on Gmod TT with a $2 mic, I learned a lot and was extremely bullied by grown people, and my mom used to yell at me for getting upset over it. Wow. I was a 9-year-old kid with unrestricted internet access that really liked learning useless stuff, aka a horrible combination. It depends on what you mean by useless. I argued with people much older than me on the Neopets forums as a 9-year-old. Fun times. I used to do that on the GameFAQs forums. I was a game faxer, game fucks. The internet has been such an influential part of me. I wouldn't be me without the internet. I 100% agree with that. I'm the same way. I got bullied on Team Fortress 2 when I was like 9 or 10 and quit as a result. I just never talked on games. I'm reporting lawless cherry. Someone needs to restrict their internet access. I hope that's a meme. Neopets was too complex for me at 9, let alone participating or knowing about the forums. Yeah, I remember being 9 and arguing on game facts. But I said like really stupid basic shit. Like a lot of the shit that I said was like spamming the form. I just listened to speedcore and breakcore when I was 8 on the internet. I think it gave me brain damage. I mean, music is good for the brain, and that a lot of speedcore and breakcore tend to be pretty sonically complex. So I know you're memeing, but I think it might literally be the opposite. If I want to be scared, I will just stop taking my meds. I know that feel. The internet is a gateway to hell. The 1980 boomers were correct. I think you would assume that just about anything is a gateway to hell. Neopets got me into web design and coding because of the custom pet pages feature. I'm a web designer now because of it. That's based. I remember going on Rule 34 when I was 10 and so many furry inflation art and was disgusted. Oh god, I loved game facts. There was this one Harvest Moon user who uploaded amazingly in-depth guides with witty commentary. Yo, that's sick. Um, do you think you could do you remember if that's still around? Based, I got slightly into coding through role-playing forums and also through Game Maker, and now I don't know anything about coding. I don't think the internet gave me my mental illness though. Probably not. I remember getting made fun of when for the first time online and it completely ruining my day. That's funny. Hi Mooley Soy Sherwood. Music has also been rather influential for me. Yeah, same here. Like music and film have been hugely influential for me. Um, Arguing on the internet is useless. You could literally be talking to children about abortion. I think it's good as an exercise to question your own beliefs and to strengthen your logical faculties. I only know CSS, HTML, and some Java, JavaScript, and Python trying to learn more. There's a bunch of coding discussion. I was 11, I managed to become an admin for a TF2 server? Holy shit. Become obsessed with computers, Linux, and wanting to become a network engineer in the future. Huh. I really need to learn C. There's a lot of, there's a lot of coding people in the chat. Someone should kidnap me and force me to learn coding. I just don't find coding that interesting. I've like tried. Um, I I like Linux a lot, but I'm not like super in depth. Like I don't know a whole lot about it. The stuff that I know the most about is like OPSEC shit. Like I can talk about like um I can talk about hiding your identity and how to encrypt yodeling, let's say. You know, I could talk about trying to encrypt yodeling via the internet, but not much else. I want to try learning Python. It would be cool to have a Twitter bot. Um, Yesterday I argued that it was good for the US to pull out of the Middle East and that the Taliban is better than ISIS, and my college Discord leftist wanted to hurt me. No leftist is that in favor of US imperialism. Yeah, I agree with a YouTube DL account. Um, I don't think that person was a leftist. Um, or C++ to make TF2 hack. Have you been to US college? Those people are liberals who don't understand leftism, though. Like, those people are just radical liberals. They probably think the Taliban was like, is the US should have stayed there forever because the Taliban was good for, wasn't good for women's rights or something. I remember when I was younger, I had a group of friends I used to play with on Skype, and it was very um, nostalgic for me while Having no friends in real life used to play crappy Gmod game modes. Facts and Osaka pilled. Yes, that's what they said. Yeah, yep, exactly. See, I've heard these exact arguments before. What they fail to understand is that the US intervention that created the Taliban in the first place is why women ended up having much worse rights uh, even before they ended up rising to power again. You have to remember, like, once we took down the government in Afghanistan with the Afghanistan war, the puppet government that we put in place wasn't that much better on women's rights. It was an improvement, but it was nowhere near to the degree of the Soviet-backed government that used to be in power, you know, in the 70s. Um, but because of the United States through Pakistan funding these Islamist insurgent groups in the country, um, that problem ended up coming to be. Like and it's odd because Afghanistan was not even a particularly conservative country throughout most of its history. In fact, it was an incredibly progressive kingdom prior to becoming a communist country later on. Um, it was just because of this manufactured resistance that was funded by the United States that the instability and the terrorists that got harbored there ended up coming to be. People literally slaughtering and colonizing a nation of people and complain that they aren't socially progressing. Yeah, 100%. YouTube DL account is based in the chat. Yeah, that was just bad imperialism. We need to do good imperialism now. I think my old friend group on Steam was the only time I felt a genuine connection to people and like I had genuine friends. Um, people people are saying things. I'm not gonna read these. I don't want a clip of me reading these things people are saying in the chat. I'm not gonna read all this. Um, I think I'm probably going to head off the stream in a little bit here. Is there anything, any unsocialized as low social and meaning? Um, if any of you guys want to ask me something or like tell me some shit before I go, now is your chance. Because I'm gonna get off here pretty soon. Good night, Osaka. Good night. Um, yeah, I'm gonna stay here for a couple more minutes and respond if there's anything there, and then I'm getting off. I'm not reading that Ayashi Hito. Repost the Matrix. Thoughts on self-harm, I guess, Osaka? Um, don't do it. But also, if you derive enjoyment from it, it's your autonomous right to do that. And I think it's unlikely that I or anyone else knows better than you if that's what you want to do. However, generally speaking, you probably won't derive enjoyment from that, so you should probably enjoy it. Or you should probably you should probably not do it is what I meant. You should probably not do it. Here's my matrix, by the way. Here's my matrix. Yeah, don't self-harm. As a past self-harmer, I agree it's only detrimental to yourself. Yeah, Good night, Osaka, praying for you. Thank you. You have a Psy shirt, right? What is your favorite Psy album and why? Imaginary Sonescape is my favorite, and it's because I think it's the most musically diverse album that they've done. Like, there's like jazz and shit on that album. It's crazy. Yeah, I love the band Psy. Um, Good night and sweet dreams, Osaka. Um, I wasn't being ironic. Yeah, there strange things are happening in the chat. Osaka fears the. I'm not reading these things. All of this like weeb shit that people are typing, I'm not reading these things. Who's Melly? I don't know who Melly is. Good night, Osaka Syndrome? Good night. I doubt you have the capacity to do that from overseas, mister. But I'm not gonna say that word. Um okay. Yeah, I have a good night, Osaka. Adding you to the Thunderbird. Let me know if you have podcast collab ideas. Yeah, sure. Um you do not know where I live. Literally no one does. Why did you delete that anime fans aren't pedos video? Um, I don't know what video you're referring to. Um, I don't think I did. Uh, I don't remember titling a video that though. Maybe it got taken down by copyright. That's the only thing I can think of, but um, I don't. I, I'm not quite aware of what video you're referring to. Um, I generally do not delete videos. Like, I keep up pretty much everything I make. If something goes down, it's pretty reasonable to assume that either it got community guidelines or copyright striked. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you all for coming out to the stream. It was really nice having such an active chat this time. It you guys are great. Bye bye.